All right, we're going to transition to our next guest from Washed Up Inc., friend of the show, Pat Clifford, joining us here tonight in his White Sox hat.
Yes.
We're going to get a W tonight. That's all I need to say. Last night was a fluke. I'm not having it. Tonight's a new day.
I can't get over last night.
I can't either. Yeah.
We just find a way to still want to put Lori Garcia on the field, and I can't deal with it. I'm over here sitting like I could do better at this point.
I was up till midnight. You know, it was a West Coast game, and I was just like, my timeline was like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. I can't believe this. It was like really the entire season relied on this game one.
Yeah, right. We dove so hard into like this one first game, and there's 160 left. Like, we got time. But you needed to start off on the right foot, and we just looked very flat, and it was a bummer. Yeah. But, you know, we bounced back. That's why we get another game tonight.
Giolito looked great last night. He had 8 Ks through 6, I think. So he left with the lead at 3-1. And the fucking umpire seemed to change his strike zone as soon as he left because there was so many missed calls. I was like, well, yeah.
And Madrigal can't throw a ball to second base.
Go to first.
Get a single out. Just get one of them.
And we learned that Lewis Robert can't swing at anything outside the zone.
Dude, throw sliders in the dirt 5 times in a row, and Luis Robert would be right back on the bench.
Is this a bad time to bring up the fact that I'm a Cubs fan, or is that
because it's not a fun time to be a Cubs fan. Right?
No, but you know what it is on my front is that I kind of am a fair weather fan, but I'm actually the opposite of a fair weather fan. I'm a bad weather fan. I like to lose. I'm big into losing. The Cubs are never more fun than when they're losing. I love that I saw them win the World Series, but now that I've seen it done once in my lifetime, do I need another one? No, that's gratuitous.
Right. You're being selfish at that point.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know.
But I agree with you. I'm not like one of those Sox fans that hates the Cubs.
No, me neither. No, I'm not.
I mean, we got two teams in Chicago, both on each side of the league, and why not meet them in the World Series and let Chicago implode?
I want that. I want that so bad.
I don't know if you guys have talked about this on the pod, Pat, but have you guys talked about like the I like both teams Chicagoan, and those are the worst kind of people, by the way. Like you need to choose your side. You need to be on one side of the fence or the other. You can't be like, well, you can't be what's his name, John Cusack type dude. Like, no, I'm gonna be at the 05 World Series, and then next thing I'm at the 16 World Series. We're in the Cup. Like, nah, B. Like, pick your side, roll with that. That's why he blocked me, by the way. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, that is too funny. No, we talk about it. We've you got to pick one side. You can't you can have respect for the other, and you can be fine if they win. But you can't actively have both gears and go to both games and have the same support for both teams.
And that is why, as a bad weather fan, I wear my Cubs hat to the Sox games. You know, like,
and then they wonder why the White Sox fans get violent. See, this type of behavior is unacceptable. Don't do that.
You're setting up for failure.
Listen, when I've been to Wrigley Field and I've watched games, and let me just tell you, it's a beautiful park. There's probably no better place to watch a game. That's including.
There isn't.
I will not argue this point at all. Do I like the upgrades? No, but neither the point. But when I go, I don't wear like Sox gear. I don't let them know. I'm just like, hey, I'm just here to enjoy the free tickets and get some drinks. That's it. I'm not there to like shit with people. You're an instigator. You're the worst kind of people.
I'm definitely an instigator, but I normally roll around with a karate champion, so I do feel a little too safe. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Dude, Mike Watts, hands down, top 10 person to walk around town with.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good vibe. But he used to work for Guaranteed Rate, so we actually got like $7 tickets to the Sox game. Like this was pre-pandemic for sure, but it was like great. And then we all went to the stadium, and we didn't even feel bad about paying like $15 for a beer because it's like whatever. I paid $7 for the ticket.
Exactly,
it was fantastic. I really took in, I call it Comiskey. I took in Comiskey, the whole vibe.
Good. It's either Comiskey or the U.S. Cell, or the Cell.
Or the Cell. Okay.
Or I still like to fuck around and just say the G spot. There you go.
Thank you. I didn't know where we were on the day yet. So I'm glad you brought that up because I really didn't want that opportunity to leave.
Listen, we push boundaries on this show. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right. But let's get up. Let's get into Washed Up Inc. You guys are a podcast. You're a media enterprise. It's run us through who's on the team. It's you, yourself, and two other gentlemen, right?
Yeah. So it's myself, Matt Bresnahan, who was a water polo player through high school, a little bit into college. Brady Ryan, who intramural champion of all sports, just a versatile little guy. A little guy who's 6'4", though, you know.
Yeah.
And then we actually just added a guy to the repertoire. His name is James, and he's our talent coordinator. So he helps us get some guests and pops on with some fun takes and all that good jazz. And then there's me, the washed up pinnacle. So
yeah. So you guys are a bunch of Al Bundys reminiscing on your 6 touchdown days over the course of podcast. I like it.
Absolutely. So the whole thing about washed up is to like change the narrative of like being that washed up athlete, because it's like, what are you going to do next? Like your dreams of going pro are gone, buddy. So is your shoulder. Now what's next? So
that's so funny you mentioned that, because like that was very similar to our last guest, who is an artist who is now leading the charge with new artists. And it's like, and we asked that, like, you know, you're now teaching, like, do you kind of, we didn't use the term washed up because I think that could be very, but there's this kind of feeling of like, am I done? And as an athlete, like, there's really like, there's a definitive moment being told when you're done. Either you've lost all skills or you don't have, your performance has fallen off so bad that you just can't do it anymore. So there is a definitive moment. Being an artist is a little bit different, but being an athlete, there is a deadline when your time is up.
Yeah. Either you get to tell yourself you're walking away, or in most cases, somebody is telling you to walk away.
So you tore your rotator cuff, right? And that's how your career kind of took a dramatic end.
Yeah. So I tore my rotator cuff.
But give him the success stories too, Pat, because I'm semi-familiar and he's not familiar at all. So, you know, really give him the full carriage and horses, you know?
All right, you got it. So I played baseball as long as I can remember, and I played at Oak Park, River Forest High School. And go Huskies, always a great day to be a Husky. And so my junior year, 2012, we had one of the best teams that Oak Park has seen in a long time. And once that team finished tryouts, we actually had our catcher, Jack Picciotti, come up to the team that just got together. And he said, I hope you guys are ready because we're about to go win a state championship. And we did. We ended up
and we did that.
We did exactly what he said, and we went and we won a state championship.
It feels very Friday Night Lights, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They stole that story from us.
You guys are the inspiration behind Friday Night Lights. Who knew?
Yeah.
You know?
I know. That's what I'm here to tell you guys about.
I'm glad we're finally peeling back the curtain on this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I had a role on that team, of course, and then I was riding that high into my senior year because you're a second semester senior. I had just won state, and now I'm back playing baseball again. And now, like, you can't really top going to state, and our team, like, drastically fell off after that. So, like, winning our regional was our celebration. We were like, we did it. We won a playoff game. We're back.
We're back. The champs are here.
Yeah, absolutely. So then I went to Marquette University, tried to play club, didn't like that, was thinking about transferring D3 to keep the dream alive. And I ended up tearing my rotator cuff because I got subbed into a club game and I hadn't warmed up, and I tried to throw somebody out at home.
Oh, no.
And it just kind of fell.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't great, and it didn't feel good.
The bio on the Wash Up Inc. says that they politely asked you to leave, though. I mean, that was nice of them, right?
Yeah. So I had a couple incidents at Marquette. I was not a perfect student. And the funniest thing is that I was in the honors program at Marquette before I got kicked out. So I was smart, just not really that smart, because I did a lot of dumb things in the dorms that got caught, and I took all the blame so my buddies would get less. And I'm just a really good friend at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the important thing here. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. As long as you keep your friendships intact, you can always get a degree later on.
Absolutely. No, they had a 3-strike system at my dorms, and 2 of those strikes I warranted for sure. And that 3rd strike came on the very last move out day. I shit you not. And I went down there and I was like, "You guys really aren't gonna come on?" And they were like, "No, we'll just let you go."
Yeah.
So I escaped by the skin of my teeth. But I've been there before, man.
Yeah.
Good friend is the word.
Yeah, so I left in my the 2 months into my sophomore year, politely asked to leave. They were like setting me up for failure at that point. And they were like, "Dude, you should probably just head out." If I were to have stayed, I was gone for 6 months. And while I was gone, my probation was still active. I was getting emails of "You're still on probation" from the university. I was like, I don't even go there anymore.
Well, so if you went to try and watch a basketball game, they'd be like, "Hey, Cliff."
Yeah, I guess I don't even know what they were trying to accomplish. Your job's done. I'm gone. You got rid of me.
Yeah, it's like people who dropped out, but they still get the alumni email or mail.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to come back and visit. They're like, "That's not no."
Yeah. Don't forget to donate. Oh,
yeah.
You've taken plenty from me already. I'll be right.
So when did you decide to get into comedy and writing, and what was that segue into your career and life like? Or were you already kind of doing some of that work before the injury?
So it actually all is because of not being able to play a sport. So I was told by a friend in high school that improv at Second City is a lot of fun. Go take a class.
Yeah.
I'm going to the NBA. I don't need to do that. And so one time in basketball, I wasn't getting any playing time, and my coach said something dumb to me and I said something dumb back. And so I kind of just didn't show up and went to Second City and started studying improv, and had a really fun time as a sophomore, going downtown into Old Town and cracking jokes with new people. It was a lot of fun. But then there was always that part of me that was I'm going pro in something. I don't need this in the background. I'll be in the MLB or the NBA or something. But that's just a naive little fucking 17-year-old who thinks he's got all the world figured out. Spoiler alert, I didn't. And so, once I left Marquette due to not being able to play a sport, because school is way easier to focus on when you have that set schedule of practice, wake up, all that kind of good stuff. So when I didn't have that, school kind of felt naked, if that's the right word. And so I couldn't focus on school. Yeah, thank you, man. Poetry is next on my things to tackle. So thank you.
Hey, there's a lot of talented comedic poets, man. I think you can make it happen.
Thanks.
Adam Sandler being one of the more famous.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll work on something.
Yeah, for sure.
But so
when I left,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so when I left, I was super lost. I was a lot of mental stuff going on. Don't want to get too deep on you guys, but I literally had no idea what I was going to do with my life. And so I just went back to Second City, because that was the last time I felt really cool and happy. And so I went back there, and I ended up taking course loads there. So I took improv, acting, sketch writing, and stand-up classes. And that was sort of my transition out of college, kind of into college again. And then you start to realize, oh shit, I can make a career out of something that's fun rather than 9 to 5 behind a desk for the rest of my life. Yeah, so that's where it all started, is not being able to play sports.
That's phenomenal. So how did so Washed Up Inc. like so what take us into like when you guys or when you started to like legitimize this idea and put it out there and start building around this media this conglomerate of you guys doing audio and doing other parts of mediums and projecting out your ideas and what you guys wanted to say.
Right. So whenever your group of friends gets together at a bar after a couple drinks, everyone's either like, we should start a bar or we should start a podcast.
Yeah. That's about right.
Yeah. And we decided to start a podcast. So I recorded one podcast off my computer audio once in my garage with like 4 other guys. And the audio was terrible. We talked for like 2 hours. It was called Irish Coffee at the time. And we were just like, what are we even doing? And so that was like where the podcast idea started. And then I ended up applying to Columbia College downtown Chicago. And
I'm alumni. Yeah.
Yeah. And started studying.
Gabe still gets the emails. I'm sorry.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Can you donate? We're running low on funds.
I was like, well, when President Biden wipes out my debt, my student loan debt, I'll get back to you guys.
Dude, Columbia needs no money. They're charging full tuition for Zoom University. It's kind of bull.
Yeah, it's been 10 years for me, so I don't know what they're doing.
It's been 10 years for me, my whole college route. So we're having enough time right there. But so we started like doing that, and then when I get to Columbia, they have like free subscriptions for all the editing softwares like Adobe Audition, Final Cut, Premiere Pro, and all that kind of stuff. So I started learning just the little bits of editing, even though my major is television writing. And so we hadn't done a podcast in a while, and then I hit up 2 guys that actually were about it and not just like something casual. And so I was like, yo, let's start this back up. I actually know what I'm doing now, editing wise, and we can actually make something that sounds good. Right. And so I didn't want to stay with Irish Coffee because then there's a lot of like things affiliated with it. And one of my buddies actually sent me a text when he was like wasted, and he was like, hey man, I know you're trying to recreate a brand, and since everybody's been calling you a washed up athlete for so long, make that the brand. And I was like, am I supposed to take this as an insult or what? And he was like, no, man, change the narrative of it. And I was like, some of the best ideas happen at 2 a.m. And so actually, that's exactly how the rebrand happened. It was like, let's change the narrative about being a washed up athlete. Because the definition of washed up is no longer useful or successful. And so let's spin that and be like, no, it's about finding your next thing.
Right. You guys have been in contact with the folks over at Barstool. You had a couple Barstool guests on.
Yeah.
How's that relationship developing?
Talent coordinator James.
Word.
He's very talented in the DM workings. So James knows everything inside and out about any Chicago sports team, any sport in general, and we'll just like pick the brains of these guys and lets them know that we've had like Frank the Tank from Barstool on, and we just had White Sox Dave. And so letting those guys know that we've had those guests yet already. They're like, oh, you had Frank on or you had Dave on? Yeah, I'll hop on for a quick interview. And
they're a little bit competitive like that over there. It's like, oh, wait, now you had him. No, let me get my spot, you know?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And we're fine with that. Be as competitive as you want. Come solve your problems on the Washed Up podcast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yo, I want to talk about one last thing before we gotta wrap up here. Your foray into acting in not the latest Pat Maller's music video, but the one before, We Back. As the teacher, I greatly enjoyed the performance. Talk about your foray into acting. Is this something we can expect from you, man? Or you're in the next Anchorman?
Dude, so I gave Hollywood my number. I have yet to receive a call still, but my phone is always open. Hollywood, give me a call whenever you have the chance. But no, dude, I'm trying to be that kind of triple threat editor, writer, actor. kind of focusing on acting and writing. But anytime to get in front of a camera and shoot the shit and have a blast. I mean, they made it look like I got my shit rocked on that teacher.
They sure did.
And I did. I was like, if we're gonna do it, let's sell it. Let's get after it. And Pat was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Why not? We're only here for a little bit. Let's make it worth it."
Yo, that's crazy. Did you actually get punched in the face? Did you have somebody do that?
Pat hit me a little bit, but then I chucked a water bottle at him, so it all evened out.
Gotta sell it.
Yeah, my rotator cuff was fine enough to chuck that water bottle. Callback, nailed it.
There you go. So you're not washed up after all.
Full circle.
Thank you so much, Pat Clifford. WashedUpInc.com is where you can find podcasts, merch, blogs, vlogs, everything and anything that has to do with you and the fellas. I thank you guys so much. Looks like we lost Sam. Looks like you guys are off and running. I can't wait to get into more episodes of the podcast. I listened today, so it sounds fantastic. So
thank you, man.
We appreciate you giving us your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. Anytime, happy to be along. Love what you guys are doing. This setup is awesome, and just pumped to be involved. So best of luck with your guys' future as well.
Appreciate it, man.
We'll check back in as the season goes along and see if we're crying.
Yeah, we might be crying or we're celebrating. Either way, we're getting together.
I'm rooting for you guys. You guys got to be successful because we got to lose for the next 100 years.
There you go. Exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. All right. That was Pat Clifford from Washed Up Inc. joining us tonight. That's going to be our show tonight, this Friday night, this Good Friday. Hopefully everyone, we're not doing news. Hopefully everyone's having a great weekend. It's supposed to be 70 degrees in Chicago, so it's going to be a beautiful
weekend. I'm hoping to get outside and hoop, and the soundtrack to my hooping will be up on Breaking Sound Radio tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Central Time. You can check it out on breakingsoundradio.com. or in the app Breaking Sound Radio. 3 hours of the hottest hip hop, pop music from around the globe. And we got a whole Loop Theory takeover in that first hour. So you're going to want to tune in. We got the new artist Godspeed. We got Olive Blue. We got Brittany Carter. We got Dre Isaiah. We got all the roster, baby. So you're going to want to tune in for that.
All right, sounds fantastic. Monday, we will drop our updated playlist on Spotify. So make sure you check that out. We'll put it up on our social medias that it's new. And then next Tuesday, I am excited. We are expecting Donnell Jones, Chicago R&B singer, who is the singer behind my favorite all-time R&B song, Where I Want to Be. I am excited. There's really no better way to explain how excited I am. I'm hoping that he lets me collaborate with him and we could do a duet of Where I Want to Be.
And then you guys can, distribute that through the Loop Theory distribution platform. I love it.
I'm going to work on my my vocals this weekend, make sure everything's tightened up for Tuesday. And then so we'll get back to you guys and we'll announce more guests as the week goes along. All right, everyone. Don't forget to follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's. Where's this at? There you go. And also at The Real Sam Crane. All right. Sam, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Don't injure yourself.
Baby. I won't.
Trying to shoot threes. All right, we're out.
Peace.